Hello there. I'm recording this brief tutorial, hopefully brief, from my favorite streamer, Dr. Gulon. He's been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn recently. And, we love a good bumble, but you don't want to bumble to the point where more difficult fights become frustrating. So, some key things to remember. Understanding all of the damage types, elemental and otherwise, and all of the vulnerabilities that specific machines have will save you again and again and again. Now, obviously, you can scan in the machine, see what it's vulnerable to. What you might not have noticed is that if you move it around, you move your reticle around on the machine to different areas, especially the lit up ones, those are its components, it will tell you what each specific area might be vulnerable to. Something that's really important is that if you just put it on its body, just a general chassis area, sometimes stuff has weaknesses. For instance, long legs, weak to shock. Now, what this means is not that shock, specifically, you can have shock arrows, you can also have shock bombs. This doesn't mean that if I shoot this long legs with a shock arrow, that will hurt it more. And in fact, shock arrows are not going to hurt it at all. But what it's going to do is it's going to be easier to apply the effect of shock to the long legs. So, for instance, if I do this, see that little circle over its head with the lightning bolt in it, that means that I've halfway applied the shock effect to that long legs. Now, if I apply shock fully, it's stunned. It can't move. It's going to fall over, making a really easy target for me to switch to, say, my high damage bow and shoot it in the face for extra damage while it's just lying there looking silly. I can also always just target that specific component. See, now it's dead. The other one, the little stars, mean it's knocked over. I could run over there and critical hit it. I'm not gonna, because I still need it for, explanation's sake. And now it's come over here to me, so I'm gonna move. Really? You're ruining my tutorial. See, I used a Terra Blast right there. Knock something off of it. Sometimes knocking off a component will do damage, but the Terra Blast arrows themselves, for the record, don't do any damage. They just knock components off after a delay. So you don't necessarily want to use those unless you're specifically trying to knock something off. But anyway, as I was saying, there we go. See, that just there is another way you can use elemental payloads, is that I shot one of its little shock coils with a shock arrow, and then that caused it to do an electrical explosion, which is another good way of, getting rid of a lot of machines pretty easily. So yeah, shock, if you use that or apply that to something, it will stun it. If you apply fire to something, like for instance this Ravager over here, which is vulnerable to fire, fill up the little thingy that's counting down how long it's going to be like there. First of all, it's upset because it's on fire, and second of all, it's taking damage. Whee! And there's no point in me shooting this with more fire, by the way, while it's already on fire, because it's not going to do anything but waste an arrow. Can you not shoot me, sir? Gosh. I'm trying to do a tutorial here. At any rate, yeah, he's mad at me because I hit him with something that he hates. And Frost is the last one, which I'm probably not going to actually show because I don't think there's anything around here that's vulnerable to Frost. But Frost makes... Ow, I'm stuck in a tree! Frost makes other damage hurt more. So, another fun thing you can do if you want to focus on components is that you can knock off components, which, as mentioned, you can do with the Terra Blast arrows or just any arrow that has high tear. And what that can do is that, really, sir? It can disable attacks. See, I knocked off his gun, so he can't shoot me with his gun anymore. He can still claw me, which he's doing successfully because I'm trying to get to his gun. Because usually if you knock off a gun, you can pick it up. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Alright, so that's just a couple of ways, you know, that elemental stuff and knowing what kind of damage and stuff you're using is just extremely helpful. And will let you not die in hard fights. Also, please, for the love of God, dodge roll. Dodge roll. You get hit so much less. Ignore that I got hit in this. I'm trying to explain things while also playing. Trust me, I don't get hit that much normally. Okay, bye!